Hello, everyone, and welcome back to This Is a Podcast. Well, the answer is yes, and it is the least prepared podcast around. We do, in fact, have a lot to get into today, so I'm just going to get right into it. First things first, let's talk about Tory Lanez. Now, I hate that man. I don't like that man, can't stand that man. I hate the movement that grew and popped up around this man to discredit and attack a black woman for recounting the trauma he caused her. It shouldn't surprise me. I am a black woman. I have been a black woman my whole life. I am well aware of what it means to be a black woman in America and online, especially. Spent a lot of time online. I've been in a lot of spaces online, both spaces where I felt comfortable disclosing my race and spaces where I felt uncomfortable disclosing my race. So it should come as no surprise to me that this movement popped up, that there was so much pushback against Meg. There really shouldn't be any doubt in my mind that this could happen. And yet, some part of me is still shocked at how pervasive it is, at how it has completely overtaken the narrative. Because when you take back all of the bullshit, all of the drama shit, all of the this and that, all the back and forth shit, what you have is a man shot a woman in the foot. And people decided she was lying. They decided she was trying to ruin this man's career, even though who the fuck is Tory Lanez? Like, I literally didn't know how to say I didn't know how to say the Lanes part. I thought it was Linez for the longest time. I don't know. I thought it was like Linez. I thought it was Linez. I did. I genuinely thought it was Tory Linez for the longest time. That's how much I did not know about this man. And that's not even his real name. His real name is like what? Is it Daystar Peterson? His dad is like a similar name. I don't know if it's not Daystar, but it's something else Star, I think. His dad is a whole other topic. Like we could do a whole podcast episode on his dad probably. Holy hell. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Tory Lanez today. And yeah, I still to this day am still very I guess just amazed at how pervasive and how much they were able to create this counter narrative and cast so much doubt on Meg. And it's like she's the victim. She was shot. We know she was shot. The logic goes out the window because they'll act like Meg wasn't shot, and then they'll be like, oh, but no, Kelsey shot her. So which one is it? Was Meg shot or was she not shot? Did Kelsey shoot her? Or was she not shot? You can't have it both ways. Meg can't be a liar who wasn't shot, but oh no, Kelsey also shot her. It doesn't. It's the dumbest people fucking falling for this bullshit. And they're not even falling for it because I don't think they're actually all that stupid. I think that they are just that full of hate for black women. They just dislike black women that much that they latch on to someone like Tory Lanez. And unfortunately, I do think that this is an issue amongst black men. I don't think that all black men feel this way. I don't even think a majority of black men feel this way. But I think a lot of black men have this sort of disdain for black women and they latch on to people like Tory Lanez, even someone like Chris Brown, or fucking Jonathan Major, someone who has multiple accusations against him. It's a hatred of women, but especially black women. And they latch on to these men who represent this sort of hatred of black women. It's why we have fucking people like Andrew Tate who. But why are people talking about Tory Lanez? Well, he was stabbed. According to his Instagram, he was stabbed. Was it like 14 times? Um, Look, I don't like the man. I don't necessarily wish harm on him. I think that this was, I don't want to say inevitable, but it was a little inevitable, I guess. Like, I don't want to say inevitable because that makes it seem like it had to happen. I don't think it had to happen, but I think that you put someone like Tory Lanez into prison, the possibility is going to be a bit higher that someone targets him than, especially with how much attention and how high profile this whole case ended up being. I don't know anything about the person who did stab him. I don't know what it was about. I don't know, like I don't even like I doubt it even had anything to do with this case and everything, but people are going to make it out to be like it was Meg's fault. They're already making it out to be like it was Meg's fault. I think Academics was it DJ Academics? I'll have to try and find it. but I think he posted something comparing Megan to, I think it was Caroline Bryant. It's probably Carolyn Bryant, right? I think it was Carolyn Bryant. If you are familiar with Carolyn Bryant, or if you are unfamiliar with Carolyn Bryant, I should say, she is the woman who accused Emmett Till of sexual harassment. She accuses him of sexual harassment. The true story is like, I think he may have maybe whistled at her, but even that is probably not true. If you're not familiar with Emmett Till, I'm not going to go super sidetracked into Emmett Till here, but I kind of need to kind of explain what DJ Academics was saying. If you are not familiar with Emmett Till, so Emmett Till, for context, he was from, I believe, Chicago. He went down south to spend time with his cousins, and while he was down there was an incident at the store that Carolyn Bryant's family owned. Carolyn Bryant would accuse Emmett Till of some form of sexual harassment. People say that he whistled at her, people say that he touched her. The odds are that he did not actually do much of anything to her. There's no proof of this, there's no evidence that he did anything to her, all eyewitness accounts. And obviously, accusing black men and black children of sexual assault against white women, especially, is a very common sort of scapegoat. It's a common sort of go to justify horrific acts done in the name of protecting white women from black men. There were many incidences of riots occurring. It's what was the reason for Rosewood being burned to the ground. For Black Wall Street had a similar story, I believe, where someone was accused of sexual assault against a white woman and a mob formed and they went after the black community. So if you don't know, ultimately Emmett Till was murdered by, I believe, Bryant's husband and his like half brother or something. They would kidnap Emmett Till from his house and they would kill him. No one would ever serve time for the murder of Emmett Till. Carolyn Bryant lived a very long life, well into the 2000s. Oh, right. I forgot about this. I Am More Than a Wolf Whistle, The Story of Carolyn Bryant Dunham, is a memoir by Carolyn Bryant Dunham, the white woman who accused the African American 14-year-old Emmett Till of touching her hand and flirting with her at the store in 1955, an incident which led to his lynching. Written before 2008, the manuscript was originally planned for a 2036 posthumous release, but was leaked by historian Timothy Tyson and released to the public in July 2022. The 99-page manuscript focuses on two main aspects of Dunham's life. The last two-thirds of the book focus on the interaction, aftermath, trial, and subsequent developments of the Till events. The book ends with the paragraph, "I always felt like a victim as well as Emmett. He came in our store and put his hands on me with no provocation. Do I think he should have been killed for doing that? Absolutely, unequivocally, no. Did we both pay a price for it? Yes, we did. He paid dearly with the loss of his life. I paid dearly with an altered life. I say bullshit to that." This has gotten so off topic from what we were supposed to be talking about, but that's kind of okay. That's kind of what I wanted this podcast to be. I wanted it to just be whatever the fuck I ended up talking about, so that's fine. If we get off topic, I'm okay with that. The book received an overwhelmingly negative response, with a number of writers and historians noting the inconsistency, history revisionism, and lack of contrition by Dunham. Dunham's claims contradicted earlier statements she had made, as well as those of other witnesses. He also stated that Dunham conjures the black beast rapist mythology in describing the 14-year-old Till as a man who appeared in his late teens or early 20s. So, again, well into her later life, she seemed to have not necessarily unlearned anything. I think that painting herself as a victim is ridiculous in this. I think that people usually will make the argument that she was pressured into it by her husband as well. And I kind of think that's bullshit. I can fully admit I may be biased in saying that I think that that is just kind of bullshit. I'm gonna be hard pressed to feel bad knowing what they did to Emmett Till and knowing the part she played in it and knowing how she seems to have not necessarily even done a bit of work to unpack the stereotypes that she believes. And she had years, she had a lifetime. And her husband died like 13 years after Emmett Till was killed. So she was free from that man at least. She had her lifetime to unpack and learn this shit and actually come to a informed view on all of this. And I think that if she had written a memoir that reflected growth and remorse, I would feel more charitable towards her. But she didn't really do that. Which is another reason that I think what DJ Academics did was so fucking disgusting. If you're not familiar with DJ Academics, he's. I don't even know how to describe him. Okay, so on the Academics TV, which is an official news slash update channel for the Academy, which is owned by Academics, he posted, and I hope it's still up, but I also kind of hope it isn't. Oh, he he made a new version. Bro, okay, this is perfect actually. This is perfect. This will get us back on track. This is perfect. Okay. And this will lead us into the second thing I wanted to talk about today, which was DDG. So, Academics posted this. Now, this is a picture of Megan Thee Stallion, Halle Bailey, and Carolyn Bryant. Now, you know who Carolyn Bryant is because I just gave you a whole history lesson. The original post I saw was just Megan and Carolyn Bryant. But I guess since Halle has now also filed for a restraining order against her ex-boyfriend DDG. I don't know is that his I don't know his real name. The goal here is to make these two women appear to be once again liars who are endangering the lives of black men. In Meg's case, it is Tory Lanez, who is currently in prison, and in Halle's case, it is DDG, who she just got a restraining order against and is saying is abusive. And I believe she also wants to try and get sole custody of their kid. I think I saw that, but I don't know for sure if that was accurate. This is dangerous to do for multiple different reasons. I mean, first of all, conflating these things to make it seem like Meg and Halle are in any way, shape, or form doing anything similar to what Carolyn Bryant did. You have two black women who have accused black men of crimes against them, of assault, of violent crimes, one of them with a gun, and then you have a white woman who lied about being assaulted and then felt no real remorse for it throughout the course of her life and did no real growth in regards to it. These are not the same thing. What Carolyn Bryant did got a 14-year-old boy not just killed, but brutally murdered, lynched, taken from his home in the middle of the night, and lynched. To compare the two is it's disgusting. It's disgusting and it is shameful and it shows a disdain for black women specifically, but it shows a lack of understanding for your own history and a lack of respect for your own history. You can't use a picture of Carolyn Bryant in this context and in this way and not have it be also connected to the death of Emmett Till. He is using the death of Emmett Till to make it seem as though in modern times, in society now, what Meghan and Halle are doing to defend themselves, to protect themselves, to get justice for themselves, is akin or equivalent to what Carolyn Bryant did all those years ago when she lied about Emmett Till and got him brutally murdered, and then stayed silent about it through the trial, through the years, through the decades, until she was old enough that it did not matter, and then she was going to release a book that was going to come out after she died, so she would not have to deal with the consequences. The level of disrespect this man has for black women, and these two black women especially, is insane. I unfortunately am seeing history repeat itself with Halle Bailey and DDG and everything surrounding them. You have people taking DDG's side. There's obviously going to be the culture war aspect of it, the gender war aspect of it, because that's just how people fucking operate, unfortunately, even when it comes to situations like this. Hold on, I have to check and see if she was granted the restraining order. Actor Halle Bailey gets restraining order against rapper DDG alleging violence, fear for their baby. She was awarded this restraining order. A Los Angeles judge has granted a restraining order to the Little Mermaid actor and singer Halle Bailey, who says her ex-boyfriend, the rapper and YouTuber DDG, has been repeatedly violent with her and she fears for herself and the baby they have together. The judge on Tuesday ordered DDG, whose legal name is Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr. I'm sorry. I don't know what I expected this man's name to be, but it was not Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing at his name. I shouldn't be laughing at his name. That's inappropriate of me. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. I looked at it again. Okay, okay, okay. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. Okay. I'm back. We're good. Okay, let's go. The judge on Tuesday awarded DDG, I'm not saying his legal name again, to stay away from Bailey and their 17-month-old son, Halo, until a June 6th hearing. Throughout our relationship, Bailey said in documents requesting the order, Daryl has been and continues to be physically, verbally, emotionally, and financially abusive towards me. I am seeking orders to protect myself and our son Halo from his ongoing abuse. A message seeking comment from a representative for Granbury was not immediately answered. That to me is a bit of a weird sign, especially since a bunch of his fucking friends and shit have been online doing, the rounds for him and trying to win him points in the court of public approval, which is ultimately how I think this is going to play out. There will be the legal side and then there will be the public side. And it will be the same as what happened with Meg. Legally, Tory Lanez is in prison. He was found guilty for the crime of assaulting Meg, of trying to shoot her with a gun. That is a fairly serious crime, and it is entirely fair for Meg to want to take him to court for that, but people still act like Meg lied, like she is not a victim in this scenario, and people are going to likely do the same thing to Halle Bailey and DDG, but especially because there is a kid at the core of this, it is so much worse. You're going to get a lot of the men's right activists who are very pro, like, dad rights, the kind of people who want to like abolish child support, you're gonna get a lot of those motherfuckers. I see this playing out the same way that it played out with Megan. We are going to get a lot of really shitty people being very shitty to Halle and trying to paint her as the worst person on earth, and it'll be gross. It'll be really, really gross. And throughout the whole thing, we will see a lot of vitriol towards black women especially, because the same thing happened back with Meg, where it was a lot of vitriol towards black women especially, and I don't know what to make of it. I mean, I know what to make of it. It's misogyny and shit, and that's a problem. I don't know how to combat it. I don't know like what we do to like get away from this, because it just keeps happening. It just keeps happening where incidences involving black women happen, and especially if there's a black man involved, a lot of men will take the position that the black woman is trying to ruin the black man and trying to ruin his career, ruin his life, and all sorts of shit. They genuinely hate women that much. Like, I know it's that these motherfuckers just hate women that much that they don't see anything redeemable about them. They don't see anything good about them. And so they assume the absolute worst intentions. They assume the absolute worst desires and goals from them. And they assume that, well, if she's accusing him of being abusive, she must be lying. She must be lying so that she can get sole custody of the child and keep a black father away from his son. How dare she? And I suspect you will see that exact sentence quite a bit. Maybe even under this video. Just like I'm sure we'll get a free Tory motherfucker under this video. I think that's all I have to say on that. I think that's the episode. I think this was interesting. I hope you enjoyed my little history lesson. I didn't mean to give you guys a dive into like Emmett Till and shit. That was an accident. But that is kind of what I wanted this podcast to be. I liked the idea of sort of talking about something and just kind of seeing where shit goes. If it leads me to an impromptu history lesson on Emmett Till, then so be it. I'm okay with that. So, although I assume that, chances are you're probably already fairly familiar with Emmett Till. If you weren't, I hope you learned something. If you were, I hope you weren't too bored. That's it. That's the episode. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I especially appreciate you watching. I really appreciate people who watch the podcast or who listen to the podcast, because of all of the videos that I make, these ones are probably just for me. One last thing before I let you all go. I made a coffee. I don't know how you're supposed to say it, but I made one of those. I'll link it down below. Basically, I got annoyed with people complaining about the audio. So, yeah, if you want to help me buy a new mic, you can. No pressure. You can just ignore it, but it will be linked down below. It's more so just so that when people complain about my mic in the future, I can direct them to the link. If they feel strongly enough about their complaints, they can they can help out. That's down below. If you would like to help out, feel free. If not, don't worry about it. Things are rough right now. Save your money, you know? That's it. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Free Palestine, and goodbye.